Hello students. So yesterday in the previous class we have learned about the templates, how to work on the templates. That is you're working on Django and we are working on Django templates, right? So today we are going to work with some layouts. So as we are doing a web application, we require some proper layouts for that. Hmm? Okay. So you are going to work on that layouts. So before that we'll have some ideas about MVT. So what is MVT? Here MVT is model, views and templates. So models are nothing but the database or static data which is stored in the database which we have to take it from the database. Views are nothing but the business logics or the codes, and templates or HTML pages. So as I told you, Django frameworks has divided into some different parts. That is model. When I say about models, it will be about the data. When I say about view, it will be business logics or the codes, and templates will be my layouts or HTML pages. Assume that we are working on some Amazon or something. There we require some logics, right? That if I add up to a cart, that times the logic should be applied, and that will be run on the Amazon server, right? Now if I have booked something and in my cart one data is there, that should be fetched from the database. So it the same work format. Today we are going to work on this example, right? So before going to this, just I will explain you it in the PPT, then I'll show you the practical demo. So working with themes. So what are themes? Themes are nothing but where all your layout, CSS, HTML pages will be there, right? So themes can be downloaded on websites. That is, you can go to Google and you can go for some websites which you give you free themes, or you can write it from the scratch. So it's better. I'll go for some built-in themes which are available on internet or which are available on Google. So you can download the free themes from Travelocc, ColorLab, or I have Theme Forest. Then there are so many websites where I can get the themes. Once the themes have been downloaded, you have to unzip the files. Yeah, once you have downloaded the files theme, you have to unzip because it will be in a zip format. Then next I should start with the project. I can go to the previous project also, or I can start with the new project. At present I am not going to work with the previous project. I will work with the new project. So how to start with the project? As you have to give the command Django admin start project, the project name. So here I have given it as confer. So my project name is confer. Then once my project is created, I should go into that project and there I should create an app. So what is the command for that? Django admin start app. I can give any name. Here I have given it as website. Okay. So working with themes, first you have to download the theme, then you have to create a project, then you have to create a app. So assuming that I'm working on a new project only, so I have created a project, I have created a app. So I already have downloaded the file and I have kept it in the downloads. Once this is done, I will go to the next part. I should create a template folder in a root directory. Already we have done this in the previous example also, creating a template, and in that I will put my index.html or anything. So here what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a template folder in root directory. Once that is done, the downloaded index.html file will be copied in templates folder. Okay, so index file will be copied in templates folder. Once this is done, I need to create a urls.py in which in app. Here website is my app and confer is my project. So I have to create urls.py within the website or within a app. Once this is done, as we have worked with this Django import path, here whenever I say that I want to work with a website, what happens first? I should go to URLs. URLs will tell me where I should go. I should go to views.index or I should go to the models. That depends on urls.py. So here I am telling from django.urls import path. Why? We are working with path, so I should import path. Then from dot imports view, I want to import views also. So I have taken from dot imports view. So here I am working with the first root directory, that's why it is blank. Then views.index name is equal to index. So this examples also we have learned in the previous example. So this is about my urls.py. I should tell where the URL should go. The first URL will go to the project, then the project will direct it to the app, and app will direct you where I should go. Okay, after this, what comes? I should create views.py. Already views.py will be there. You should just put the code here. I will go for Django import render and HTTP response. It's depending on you. If you want to take HTTP response, you take. At present, we are not working with HTTP response. I'll remove this HTTP response. So here I am telling return render request index.html. Whenever I call for index function or index module, it should go to index.html. I am requesting for index.html. So views.py is over, urls.py is over. So here my app details are over. Now I will go to the next part. What is that? I should go to the project part. Here I should give the include app.url. So where are my apps? My apps are present in website.urls, and this is the admin site.url. It will be by default. So this much is over. Now I have created URL in app. I have created views in app, and I have made urls.py in the project. Once this is over, what I should do? Now I should create a static folder in the root directory or the project folder. So what is a static folder? Here I'm going to take all the images CSS file which we have downloaded, and I'm going to copy it here. The static folder is where I am going to copy the CSS images and any other files which are required for the templates. So once this is done, you create a static folder. In that you paste all the image CSS files and other files whichever are required. Once this is done, I should create one more folder. That's it. That is assets. This folder should be blank. You should not copy anything. This folder is blank because once I run a command, whatever is there in static, it will go in assets. That we'll learn later on. First, you have to create a static folder. Once this is done, you have to create a assets folder, right? So now static folder is created. After this, what I should do? I should make some settings changes. Yeah, I have to make some setting changes. So here we have worked about that static.url. I should tell static os path.join base directory static root os path join base directory assets. This tells me that you have to copy all the static folders in assets. Okay, before working with this, I should import os because you're using os.path.join, right? So you have to import os at the top. Once this is created, whatever is there will be copied in assets, but right now it will not be copied. For that, I have to tell that Django editor, or the I should give the command that copy this to this folder, right? This is the structure what we are making right now. A static folder. Once static folder is created, assets folder should be blank, and this all changes in which settings.py of the project. Once this is done, I will type a command python manage.py collect static. Once I run the command python manage.py collect static, whatever data is there in the static, it will be copied to a folder assets. And I have to make a little bit changes to dirs, that is directories, that is os.py.join base directory templates. I have to tell the directory that my templates or my HTML files are present in templates folder. As guess we have worked with this in the previous example, right? So now collecting starting files are over, everything is over. Once this is done, now I have to make some changes in index.html. So first I should tell that load static. Why you're working with static, right? So I have to tell you have to work with a Jinja format and say load static. Once this is over, wherever your CS is there, you have to go give this Jinja format, then static, a single quote, then your path, close the single quotes, close the Jinja format, and double quotes. So wherever your CSS is there, you can make the changes over there. Okay. So this was about your templates and static folder. So now we'll work with that. Okay. So we'll start with the practical session. So already I have created a folder with name project. So where it is present in cd users, then with the proper path, then the name is projects. Okay, this is about location where my project is there. As I told you, you should create a new project. I can do Django minus admin, then start. You can give any name. So the name what I had given is CONFER. So here the issue is that already I have created a project, so no need to create it once again, but the command is Django admin start project CONFER. So once you press enter, a project is created, a folder is created where in projects one. So I have done with this. So I will go for the next part, that is cd confer. I should enter into this. So font prompt changed. So after this, I should create Django minus admin start app. Here I can do that. Okay. So here I have created app also. So here you can check. Here I have confer is there. In confer, a website app is there. So no need to create the app once again. But if I press enter, app will be created. Now this much is done. I have created a folder. I have created a project and I have created a app. Once this is done, what I had told you to do, I have to create a template folder in the root directory. So already a template folder or templates folder is created. How to create that? Just right click on this new directory. Here you can give the name. Okay, already created, so no need to do that. Once it is done, I will copy index.html present in my downloads. So where it is present? It is present in downloads. I will just copy this and I will paste it in this index.html. Okay, this much is done. Once this is done, I will go to website. Here, this is my website. Here, urls.py is not present. I have to create it. How to create that? Just right click on this new Python file. Here you can give urls.py and you can press OK. Already I have created, so no need to do that. So once this is done, I'll go to urls.py. In this, I have made the changes. I have given the path, that is view.index, then in the name is equal to index. This much is done, as we have worked with this in the previous example also. So once this is done, I will go to views.py. So views.py, the code of views.py is also done. So once this is done, I have done with both the changes urls.py and views.py. After this, I will go to my confer. Here I'll go to urls.py. Here we should give the name. Just assume that whatever the app name is there, that should be given over here. This much is done. So after that, I should create a static folder. Just I'll right click on this new and I'll create a folder and the name should be static. So one static folder is created. Already I have created the static folder. Just these are the files which I have copied from the downloads. Just copy it and paste it. I don't want to work with that HTML files. I just want mail, lib, js, image and css. What will be the css? All the css file will be there. Images, the images required for the website. js is the javascript required for that. Libs, इसमें कुछ तो changes रहेंगे. Whatever is this, these are the templates. Every templates will have a different types of layouts or different types of folders. It depends. If you are familiar with HTML, will get to know that. And if you're familiar with css and you've done the websites in the previous, you can come to know. Once this is done, we have one more task to do. What is that? Just right click on this and say new, and you have to create a directory with name assets. So that is done. Once assets is created, this should be blank. At present my assets will have all the data because I have run the command of manage.py collect static. So your assets will be blank, right? Once this is done, what I should do, my static is over, my copying of CSS is over, then my assets is over, then I should go to settings.py. Here, as I told you, first at the top I should import.os. Once this is done, I have to make changes at the bottom. That is static file URL, static file DRS, os.join, basic directory, static. This is the folder name what we are given. The folder name is static, and second one is where we should copy it. So assets is also done. So this is the changes what you are going to make it in settings.py. So we will have to make one more changes. As I said, you where to make the changes, somewhere in the templates. There os path.join base directory and the folder name is templates. This much is done. Once this much is done, I can go to the command prompt. I can say manage.py collect static. It will ask, already I have done that, so it is asking for overwrite. If you want, you can overwrite, otherwise you can say no. If you are doing it for the first time, it will ask for, not ask for this, direct it will copy. So I will set this as zero static file copied, because already all the files have been copied. There is no modification, unmodified. Okay, once this is done, what is the next part I should do? I should go to index.html. In index.html, it depends on the layout. Different layouts will be there. Here first you have to tell load static. I am working with static contents, so I have to tell load static. So only changes I have to make here is this part. Wherever my CSS is there, by default my CSS will be like this. Just I'll show you. This is the pattern how my CSS will be. Here it's about image. So I'll go to this. Done. So I'll run the project. What is the command for that? Manage.py run server. Okay, somewhere the CSS will not be applied. So how to make the changes for the CSS? Just remove this also. Just will check. Yeah, changes. I made a lot of changes, so this will not be applied. But for your this, by default you'll get this theme, right? I made a lot of changes. If the CSS is not applied, you'll get in this format. Okay, to make the changes in the CSS, just wherever the CSS is there, use the Jinja format. That is curly bracket static single quote closes closes. The same pattern should be repeated over here. this much is done. Now in this I have this images, right? Just I'll go to that images path where it is exactly it is. I told you it depends on the layout. You should have the knowledge of the layout. Here also I have made it as static. If I remove the static, if I give directly the source, I will not get the images. Have a check. Here I'm not getting the image. Why? Because I have to tell that the images are present in some static folder or the static path. Let's use the Jinja format. Static single quotes. Close the quotes here. Single quotes. Close this and just have a check. Wherever you want, you can make the changes. At present, I will make the changes for only this 4. I have not worked with the remaining templates because working on the templates you should have the basic structure of the templates where exactly the code will change. Everything depends on that. How good you are in HTML and CSS. Hope so you understood.